To me, my faith is a very deep one. In all of the changes that have gone on within the church, and many of them have happened from the time that I was a little girl, none of it has shattered my participation of it. But I've questioned. That isn't to say that I haven't questioned much of what has happened in terms of the way I was brought up, in terms of what things are today. Um, um, I grew up knowing that I could question, and that it isn't. There is a way in which to talk to a priest the same as there is a way to speak to a grown-up or to a child. I don't have to accept a priest just because he is a priest as being God's word. That he's a man, and his interpretation of one thing is going to be very different from the interpretation of the same thing that another person may tell. So when we live in the community, I shop around for a church, and I shop around for a priest. If I don't happen to like the particular parish that by boundary, neighborhood church, I don't feel that I have to go there. I go with the idea of where I'm fulfilled and where I feel that I can do them as much service as they can do for me. And to Boulder, Sacred Heart was the only church there. And since I was really just growing up, although I had made, for instance, my first communion had been in Spanish, and in moving to Boulder, I went through instructions with a priest there on my own time to learn the prayers in English, the necessary prayers, and to keep my own communication with the church itself. In our early married life, Abe and I both attended a doctrine class where we dissected the Our Father, for instance, just to find out exactly where the Our Father was coming from and what it meant to us. And yet, it's a prayer that universally Protestant people as well as Catholics have used over and over and over again. But I remember when we first started that class and initially brought up the question of how about if we start and really question and talk about each individual phrase within the Our Father and what it stands for in our own lives. That there were some people in that particular class who just accept it because it is the Our Father. We weren't questioning that we wouldn't accept it. We were just questioning, what really does it mean? What relevance does it have to us? And basically, that's how I feel about the church.
So you found a priest at St. Thomas?
At St. Thomas, we found the atmosphere in terms of the congregation and in terms of the priest, where we felt that we could participate with that. We could live with that. I'm having questions right now because we have changed priests, and I'm not sure that a year from now that I'll feel the same kind of openness at St. Thomas as I felt in the past. But I feel that before I turn my back on it, I need to work with them and they with me and see if we can, make a go of it. But it could be that I'll have to change, that I'll have to move to another church. It'll be Catholic, I know that, always. But it may not be St. Thomas for a whole lot longer because, as I say, it is a new order of priests, and we are having some difficulties with them, and I'm not particularly happy with some of the things that are going on. But I know that I can change. I know I can move.